don't want to get copyright. Are we live? Are we live? We're live. I don't want to get copyright. Usually I sit in the chair ready to speak, perfectly centered. I might have to adjust the mic a little bit. Hold on, wait, let me creaky chair. We won! We won! We won our first game in the World Cup. It's a bit late. The skull cap is back on. I'm getting my trim tomorrow, so everyone getting on to me. No, I'm not hiding my hairline. No. Actually, yes, my hair looks nappy. Trim tomorrow pending. Shout out Jams. That is good, Shay. That's good. Wow. Wow, oh wow. What a day. What a day for history. What a day for the moment. What a day to celebrate. Nations going mad. Egyptians are going mad. I'm surprised. I can't lie. I haven't seen any videos of Egyptians on E Road, but I wasn't really expecting anything yet. I feel like the celebrations would be well underway if we reached around the 32. If we finish top of the group, I'm hoping we batter Iran. In fact, when are we playing these lot? When are we playing these lot? 27th of June. All right, cool. I hope we. I'm hearing there's words on the street that we're playing Iran on our shoulder. Dark. But, hey, Egypt, the 7 stars is not for the AFCON. This one's for the World Cup. 7 World Cups pending. You heard it here. You heard it here first. 7 World Cups pending. I don't know if it's the FIFA World Cup, but there's something loading. Maybe the market's got a little replica made of copper or brass or something. Do you know what I'm saying? Gold sprated. Not gold plated, gold sprated. But yeah, Egypt's are Africa's giants in the competition. Absolute giants. 7-time champions. In more recent history, a late run into the African Cup of Nations as a tournament. But we haven't been successful, right? It was at the hands of Senegal, our loss in the final. But the question's always asked, right? We're always asked as a nation, or like other countries within Africa, the question's asked of, you're so successful in Africa, you're 7-time champions, why can't the form, quality, and expectations be maintained in the World Cup? I don't have an answer for you. I genuinely don't have an answer for you. I don't have an answer. They don't have an answer. The Egyptian FA don't have an answer. No one has an answer. No one has an answer. But it is our first win in World Cup history. In our World Cup history, our first win. We were there in 1934, 1990, 2018, and now 2026. So a huge gap. Fell short. 2018 is a weird one. 2018 saw Mohamed Salah, easily Liverpool's best player, announced himself to the Premier League, broke the goal scoring record. Everyone thought this is his moment. He cemented himself in the Premier League. He said, here I am, expect big things of me. But we were expecting the same thing to translate over to the international stage. We expected Mohamed Salah within Russia to get at least 1 win, despite scoring 2 goals in that tournament. We didn't get any wins. 2022, the World Cup in Qatar, failed to qualify. Embarrassment. Absolutely embarrassing, especially under the circumstances. And you know what? That was a moment that not just the nation, but even pundits within the UK, they were asking themselves, right, do we start scrutinizing Salah, or are we putting too much pressure on his shoulders? Is it his fault that we haven't qualified? Or is it the fault of the entire team? I personally thought he'd resort to retiring from international football. Kind of like Messi when the nation turned on him when he failed to win the Copa America. Wasn't the case. Carried on. It's been a very sad and difficult journey to this point. I can't expect, nor can the rest of the nation or Egyptians around the world expect Egypt to record a win and say to themselves, no, we deserve it, or, there should have been a win here or there. Or, no, it's this is our best opportunity to, if we're going to be optimistic, maybe reach around the 16. I don't know. Maybe we can reach around the 16. Around the 32's there for the taking. I think, and I know we're going to batter Iran. I hope we do, but I think we're going to batter Iran. So around the 32's there. Depending on the draw, depending on how the knockouts match up, or how the groups finish, we'll see who we face in the round of 16. Cool. And then as a whole, can be proud. Sign off and be proud to reach the round of 16. Absolutely. Absolutely. Who knows as well? Whoever we get might even reach the quarterfinals. Again, that would be history. If I'm not mistaken, I need to try to remember this. Cameroon, Ghana, Morocco. I believe these are the only African nations to reach the quarterfinals. Obviously with Morocco reaching the semi-final in 2022. So we can make history. It's all about belief. But let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let's talk about the game itself. Group G, meaty group. The first round of the World Cup, you had Iran draw into New Zealand, and then we drew to Belgium. 1-1 with Belgium, and then 2-2 between New Zealand and Iran. Everyone on 1 point, same goal difference, blah, 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 blah. So, it's set up for whoever won their next game to be in a strong position. I don't know what's going on with Belgium, but they drew to Iran. No idea what's going on there. Everything's, I don't know. We're happy. Either way, we're happy. We're on 4 points. We got a win. We're top of the group. Like I said earlier, who knows where we can go from there. The only threat, and I remember I was getting a text from my boy Mo. He's like, not sure how this is going to go. I expect us to batter them, but I'm afraid it would. Pause. But that's it. That's as far as it goes. Chris Wood is the most identifiable, most well-known New Zealander of the entire team. Plays for Nottingham Forest. Do you know what I mean? Apart from that, no one's really talking about anybody else from that team. We had more identifiable figures. We had Mohamed Salah, Zico, Trezeguet. Trezeguet is recognizable to us, okay. We had Omar Marmoush, right? Okay, fine. We had two Premier League players playing for some of the best clubs in the world. Obviously, Salah has left Liverpool, but is still there by association. And Omar Marmoush plays for City. So to see that we had the stronger team. Again, prior to kickoff, expectations to win. Post kickoff, it looks like our expectations happened. Into the game itself. Now, I'll be real. I didn't watch the game live. Boo me all you want. I'm sorry. I apologize. But it's at 2 a.m. and I'm going to be so real with you. I ain't waking up at... The thing is with 2 a.m., you either sleep ridiculously early at 8 p.m., get the 6 hours and then knock out again, or you stay up till 2 a.m. I'm not doing that. So I watched extended highlights on a site that for legal purposes I cannot share. I came across it by accident. I didn't realize I was on the site at the time, and oh no, somehow I'm watching extended highlights. If you want to watch highlights around the 8 minutes long or 8 minutes in length, then you go and use the conventional methods. ITVX. Pay your TV license. But yeah, so New Zealand went 1-0 up with Sermon. That's his name, Sermon. Don't even know don't know the geese. Don't know the geese. But they went 1-0 up, and as expected with New Zealand, Chris Wood was a focal point, right, for the team, in terms of hold up play, in terms of knock-ons, winning headers. He's an absolute unit. And to be honest with you, even at some points of the game, ball carrying. As he dropped as deep as he is comfortable with, because that's not his game. But I'm sure had the New Zealand coach had it his way, he would have said to him, drop deep, replicate what Harry Kane does, play everybody else and just hold off the defence and play in the rest of the team. It worked for some parts of the game. Egypt looked flat. It was as if they had never seen such a tactic before in their life. They didn't know how to respond. And from the highlights I was watching, boy oh boy did we look flat. Like we had look, the game plan is simple with Egypt, by the way. Same way as Chris Wood being identifiable, blah 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 blah. The quality within the team, you see Salah, ping it to him. You see Marmoush, over the top, let him chase. Their man will sort it out. They'll sort it. But boss, how? How are we gonna? They'll sort it out. We'll figure it out. Just get it to them. So it's the case of clean up in defense, ping pass into midfield, and look to see where Salah is. Just head go. Nothing else. Genuinely, and there's nothing wrong with that. They have the quality to play that kind of that football. They have the quality to take on that responsibility. Absolutely fine. Salah looked a lot more comfortable because he was further wide. From the game where we played Belgium, he seemed a bit more. He seemed central. He was way more central in that game. But here he was high, wide to the right, which is where his glory days in Liverpool were placed. Right, that's exactly where he got success. Cash money. Omar Marmoush through the middle. Again, cash money. When he was playing, well, his form and his ability hasn't been replicated at City, but at his time in Frankfurt, that's where cash money was at for him. And it worked. It worked for them, right? You had beautiful little interlink plays on the right-hand side where Salah was. You had the pace and the trouble of Marmoush, confusing defenders, giving them something to think about. But it's one of those ones where it's like, okay, great. I'm now focused so much on Marmoush. Okay, who's taking care of Salah? Oh no, we need to focus on Salah. Okay, who's taking? New Zealand don't have the quality to spread their bets. Like they don't have the quality. It's such a simple game on paper. It really is, and that's what happens that's what happens when two smaller footballing nations come together to play a game. There's not much to it tactically. Even in the game against Belgium, I watched it and I was like, what shape is this? It's vibes. That's the shape. The shape is vibes. When you do your coaching badge, yeah, they'll tell you there's 3-5-2, 4-4-2, 4-3-3. Coach, what's Egypt doing? Vibes. That's the one over there. They're just, you get me, vibes. But Hamad Zico got the equaliser. Beautiful header. Beautiful header. Keeper didn't stand a chance. Keeper didn't stand a chance. Shift the momentum. I told you we looked flat. We picked it up in the second half, and as soon as we scored that equaliser, switch was on. It should have been 4-1, by the way. Should have been 4-1. Should have been maybe even 5. Could have been 5, but it definitely should have been 4-1. Got the equaliser. Second goal goes in, right? Interplay, a combination with Zico, Salah and Zico, gets into the box. Classic signature Salah finish, left foot, bang. Bottom corner. Beautiful. It's 2-1. And at that point, you sort of felt perhaps we were cruising. Trezeguet. Salah corner. Straight. Stood no chance. Trezeguet, an experienced player, delivering, quality in a big moment. Quality. Salah, experienced player, delivering quality in a big moment. It wasn't had it been 2-1, I would have said scrappy win. But like I said, it was 3-1, could have been 4-1. We cemented our win. We are now going on to the next game against Iran. As I said before, I think we can smash them. I think we could destroy them. I genuinely believe so. Tactically, I don't know how we're going to set up. What I do know is the Egyptian coach might do this again. Whatever that was. I know this one. I know this one. I know that one. I don't know if his... Do you know what I'm saying? He got a manicure. I'm not sure. Anyway. But Salah, it's his last dance. Without a doubt, it's his last dance. He's lost 2 yards of pace. He's lost plenty of his game. But that's fine. Go out on your last dance. Push to the final whistle. You've done more than enough for the nation. You put the nation on the map just from your success and exploits in the Premier League. That's it. But if you can bring us to the round of 16, if Mohamed Salah can take Egypt to the round of 16 and show the world that there is another African nation that is just as successful within Africa and can be just as successful on the international stage, it can only mean one thing on paper, and we hope it translates from theory to practical, which is to inspire the rest of the nation and inspire those young ballers and say to the government, say to the FA, look, let's go produce some more quality. Let's build the foundation here. Get some international camps going, some exchanges going, something of the likes. I don't think he owes us any more. There's only so much one man can do. He's 34. He's now scored in, what was it, in 3 games for us, I believe. 3 World Cup games, I mean. He's a history maker. And he will always be Egypt's greatest player, one of Africa's greatest players, and the greatest Premier League right winger of all time. What more can you ask for? Iran. We'll see you there.